this is my review for Black Book. If you haven't already read it, I recommend you do. This book was an unexpected read for me, and I was so pleasantly surprised. This wasn't on my wish list or my TBR. I just saw it come across my feed a few times. And so when I start repeatedly seeing the same book, if I can get my words together, I tend to go to my Libby app and see if it's available there. I only listen to audiobooks on Libby, but if I find a book and I really enjoy it, I'll order it. So this one was available immediately, which doesn't happen too often. So I started listening to it. Within 20 minutes, I had the book in my cart and had ordered it already. I will say, where I was at when I ordered the book and where I was at when the book came, the book had taken on a whole new life in it to me. It had so many changes or shifts that I wasn't expecting, but it wasn't in a bad way. It was in a good way, because the whole book kept me wanting to know what was going to happen next, where it was going, how it was going to end. So it kept me very engaged. The story follows the main character, Darren, who becomes the only Black salesperson in a predominantly white sales company. It might be an all-white sales company. I don't know. But it is a satire. So just with that little bit of information, you can kind of imagine the topics and the nuances that are kind of touched upon in this book. But it is more than just that. So it follows this main character, Darren, and I would say it's almost like a hero's journey in satire. It follows his ups and downs, his failures and his winnings, and it's kind of comes full circle to him really figuring out who he wants to be. It does have a pretty good supporting cast, but we don't get to know a lot about them. It is definitely about the main character. And one other thing I really liked about this was that throughout the book, the author kind of put these tidbits of wisdom about sales in there, but they're also relatable to life. And I found a few of those I had to make notes of, so I felt like I was learning a little bit of something when I was reading this book too. And so it's a really good book. I give it 4 stars. I think it'll make my top 10 for this year. Definitely. This is my first book by this author. If you haven't read it, again, I suggest you do. If you have read it, what do you think? What are your thoughts on the book?